I was going to have him tell what song we're only singing the first three verses. It isn't that one.
No. He was here for it.
Huh?
He was here for it.
No, Patrick.
Oh.
He's the worst associate.
Oh, right.
What song was it? Oh, no, I got what's it? Oh, I got Peace Like a River. We're only doing the first three.
Yeah.
I've got Peace Like a River. We're only going to sing the first three verses.
Okay.
Okay, just because we don't remember the rest of them.
Good morning, all. Please join us in our welcoming music, number 68 in the Great Hymnal. Come ye thankful people, come. Stand as able, please. Good morning, all. I am Patrick he, him pronouns. It is my pleasure to serve as your worship associate this morning for this service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County, also known as UUFCC. This service is being broadcast via Zoom and YouTube, so we use our first names and last initials for privacy. I want to acknowledge my gratitude for the supporting technology this morning of Tom and Doug, and I also want to acknowledge others responsible for our service. The greeters, the snack preparers, Margaret, of course, in the choir, and of course, the office staff, which I depend on a lot, and I thank them. They come through all the time. I'd like to remind you of a couple simple procedures that will help this broadcast and service runs smoothly. Please put your phones on worship mode, and as I say that, I will do mine. At home, you may also want to have a chalice or candle ready for the chalice or lighting ritual. Whatever your faith or the country of your heritage, you are welcome here. Whoever you are or whoever you love, you are welcome here. No matter your gender identity, you are welcome here. Whether you enter on little feet or walk in briskly or amble or rolled in, you are welcome here. We are glad you chose this congregation as your place of worship today. If you're new and would like to learn more about the fellowship, you can email Anna at office@uufcc.org or visit our website, which has a lot of good information on. We are glad you are here with us this morning. Now, if you're new this morning or returning from a period of time, please raise your hand and they will bring the mic around. Just say your name and what brought you here so we can welcome you officially. Okay, we have all just our usual wonderful folks. No one new. We will now have our prelude by Margaret. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful once again. Now we've come to our chalice lighting. With the lighting of the chalice, we bring forth the flame of the symbolic of flame of our compassion, love, and hope that is held in our hearts. With the lighting of this chalice, we bring forth a light that represents our community, our hopes for a better future, the spirit, our convictions, and our principles. As Betty, would you please come up and light the chalice? Lights the chalice in the sanctuary. Please join me in the recitation in the order of service. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our aspiration, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. Now we we have the story for all ages.
Now, as one of the many adjustments in this morning's service, I consulted a higher authority And that person is going to do the story, and I am going to make it happen. The technology is there. Catherine, stand.
Hi, I'm Catherine. This story is Mouse and Crow. I hope you haven't heard this weeks ahead when we haven't been here, or weeks in the past. There was once a crow who was very hungry. Aren't they all? Flying over the tops of trees, it spotted a large, tasty-looking walnut growing from one of the tallest branches above. Seeing the markings of a fine supper, the crow swooped down and plucked the dangling walnut and held it triumphantly in its beak. The crow flapped its wings happily and began to think about how best to break open the shell of the walnut. Meanwhile, on the ground below the crow, an equally hungry mouse saw everything that had happened and decided that it wanted the same walnut for itself. With a plan that was clever, though not particularly nice, the mouse called up to the crow high in the tree. "Say there, friend crow, what's that you have in your beak?" The crow, who was hungry enough by now that it wasn't thinking all of its decisions through well, called back, "I found a very nice walnut, and I am going to eat it." When the crow opened its mouth to say all that, the walnut fell out and dropped to the ground just as the mouse had hoped it would. But the mouse didn't count on where the walnut would land. It hit the ground and rolled into a shallow hole. The mouse ran to the hole and reached to pull out the walnut so that it could crack the shell and eat it. But the hole was just small enough that the mouse could not pull it out. With both paws wrapped around the walnut was too wide to get it back up out of the hole. The crow, meanwhile, was unhappy at having been tricked out of its supper and began to shout at the mouse below, who couldn't leave because it was still holding on to the walnut, trying and failing to pull it back out of the hole in the ground. So, even though that makes not a lot of sense if you think about that hole size and the walnut, the two of them worked together. They both got to enjoy some of that walnut. The crow pecked its sharp beak down into the hole and broke the walnut into smaller pieces. Then the mouse reached in and picked each piece out one at a time, and the two of them stopped arguing with each other because they were still hungry. The mouse could let go and the crow could hold on. And they both got to have some of that walnut.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful story. Our opening words are actually from the hymnal 506, words by Barbara Peskin. May the glory of the passing away of autumn lie about us, fresh gold from time. And when the dark comes and the cold, may us remember how today we stand in glory, how we are walking in bounty, heaped upon the earth's dark carpet. How we move knee-deep in the abundance flung among the night's winter curtain. We are thankful for its coming and for its passing. Let it be. Now, in our tradition of UUFCC, sharing our joys and sorrows and life's milestones by entering them in the Book of Life, which is available at the back of the sanctuary. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Oh, so the song number 100 in your hymnal, I've got Peace Like a River. We will do the first three. Yeah.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Now we have the Book of Life in the Stones. If you're planning not to be in our sanctuary on Sunday morning, you may also send your joys or sorrows to bookoflife@uufcc.org. Messages should be sent no later than Saturday prior to the service. During the Sunday morning service, following the receipt of these messages, the worship associate will enter them into the Red Book of Life. And Joseph, thank you for bringing the book up. Thanks. Okay, and today we have one entry here. We shared a delightful Thanksgiving meal with new friends and old here in the social hall. Often our feast and after the feast and conversation, everyone joined in cleaning up. Hooray from Lori and Jackie. Very nice. Now, in the spirit of respectful witness, I invite you to share a brief glimpse in the joys and sorrows of your life with the ritual of dropping stones into the water. Please speak into the microphone.
Well, I'm going to head back up to the Cleveland Clinic on Thursday to have a overhaul of my pacemaker. They're going to add a lead and put a new battery and a new computer. And hopefully it's a female computer because it's supposed to make one side of the heart and the other side of the heart beat in sync. Because right now they're both male and they go like this. So, speaking of male thinking, I was driving with Peggy Don the other day, and there was a little, altercation between me and a great big pickup truck. And Peggy said something about, it's just male stuff trying to get ahead. And I said, well, I'm, impressed about how you have figured out men's thinking. And she says to me, really, it's quite simple. I had no comeback.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I just wanted to go over what Lori said. We had a fantastic time on Thanksgiving. It was a fantastic group. Everybody was so sweet and so loving and so kind. And everybody cleaned up and everybody had leftovers and everybody had a good time. Yay!
Morning. Oh, hey, I didn't do it. I'd like to say thank you. It was a good Thanksgiving. My daughter came down and we went to Bob Evans and had a terrific meal without any cleanup. And I found out that she has two companies and she's buying a building. Well, it's not necessarily a building because Pittsburgh is very old and this building's been remodeled a few times. Originally, it was a Presbyterian church, so she has to do her work religiously.
Oh. Boom, boom.
Good morning. On a blustery day in Western PA, many years ago, my firstborn was born. He left the earth 2 years ago. But I am not sad because I had him for many years. There's not one person in this room who hasn't lost somebody. But we celebrate the time we had with them and we go on. L'chaim.
I'm Catherine again. This week we drove 1,600 miles to get back here, and it's harrowing, but I'm so thankful to be here and to see so many familiar faces, and some that weren't here last year but had been here before, like Carolyn, and it just makes me happy to see you all, even if I haven't said hello or given you a hug yet.
Cool. I like this rock. Hi. Just wanted to say, I guess what's been weighing on my mind is that we're exiting the year of the snake and we're entering the year of the horse. And so the snake clears the path and the horse helps us to move forward. I was kind of inspired by what Carolyn had said. So I think it's important to have that. It's still a process when we're recovering and trying to move forward, and glad to be here with everybody. Oh, and the rock helps us because we have a little bit of gravity when we need something to hold us down. So this is important. Thank you.
I will put in one final stone, for joys and sorrows too tender to speak aloud. Now we'll have some beautiful meditation music. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Now I would like to introduce Bill S. for his presentation, Gratitude Lessons from the Inside Out.
And again, we're working on the technology. They let me loose up here at the mic, and that may mean that I can't get to the thing I wanted to do. And the mouse and the crow is here very thoroughly. I'm supposed to talk to you about gratitude. And I'm not feeling any gratitude to the iPad right now. This is one of those problems that I pictured when here we go. Okay, you're saved. The likelihood is that I've been cautioned that we're going to keep this short, because otherwise you're all going to leave. And I have all these interesting things to say. I normally would take an hour, but we're going to shorten it significantly. I'm going to put my glasses on. It could be that you've heard enough about gratitude, because Thanksgiving and being thankful and grateful and all that stuff, well, that's too bad. First exercise, we're gonna do stuff today with you guys. There's something planned later too that you're gonna have to work on. But I want you to put out a little gratitude to me for trying to get you to think about gratitude at this time of year. If you remember anything about what I'm about to tell you, you'll have my deep and profound gratitude. There's a bunch of stuff, and there's so much stuff about gratitude that I'm not going to put it all in this morning. I asked a young person, and believe it or not, we've had young people in here sometimes. I asked a young person, I wanted to consult a young person about what they thought about gratitude, because I thought it might be different. And it was. The person I asked, Bo Beck Worrell, came back to me in email with probably 5 or 6 paragraphs. The first one is the one that caught my attention. And I should tell you that he got it from ChatGPT. I guess it provoked his thoughts, and he thought this one was worth paying attention to, so he sent it to me. He sent the word gratia, which is Latin. Some of you even learned that back a while ago. And that means grace in English. It's the root of gratitude. That's not just politeness or thank you notes. It's a kind of a movement, a flow. Grace moves between beings. It's inside and then outside, hence the title of this presentation. It's reciprocal. When you feel gratitude, you're not just receiving, you're part of a current that keeps life in motion. That, I thought, was worth paying attention to. Gratitude is a pause and awareness, taking time to review and consider recent times, that's the New York Times, asked people in an exercise to send them their idea of an important thing that inspired their gratitude in 6 words or less. They got all kinds of really good stuff. I could repeat that, but here we are saving time. So you could think of something right now, and think of something that has only 6 words to describe it. Think of an example of your gratitude. It says in the Times, as they did a whole essay about gratitude, that it's both a pause and an action, noticing and reinforcing the flow of caring in the world. It's not just a polite thank you. This is how we treat gratitude in a quick way among our contacts when we want to express gratitude. It's often minimized in a social nicety or a fleeting emotion. There's a common one. I don't think you probably paid attention to it, but it irritated me in a way. We watched the morning show on television. I'm sorry, I have to admit it. And those folks are pretty good journalists and interviewers. But at the end of almost every interview, one of the things that they say is, I appreciated that. I appreciated you. Well, they just say it quickly and get it on. We got to go to commercial. True gratitude goes deeper. It's a conscious pause, a moment to notice life's support systems. It disrupts self-interest because it's directed. It's not just about me, and I think you'll agree that our culture, to some extent, is pretty much focused on me. Except, I mean, you, of course. But maybe, well, anyway, moving along. Shifts focus away from ego or personal gain. It moves us into encouraging awareness of independence, interdependence, and relationality. Now, don't you like that word? Because it's made up. It's attention to unseen support. We recognize small and large gestures, the presence of those who sustain us. And that happened this morning when I met some of you again after a long pause. It felt good. I felt gratitude for being able to be there and have you there too. It includes not just people, but also communities, environments, and natural forces. So it's bigger than just one person. Gratitude to our community. Gratitude to the UUA, because it's a bigger thing. And I'm grateful to them for putting together an environment that we can come to and find this kind of support. It's, among other things, possibly too much of a rarity in our transactional world of consumerism and capitalism. Now, we just went through Black Friday. And what did you do? Well, some of you didn't go out and shop because you knew there was a blockade, basically a stop of purchasing, because we're trying to say, some of us, we don't like what's going on. And one of the ways to make that known is with our wallets. So that's happening. It's difficult to maintain societies that are focused on measurable exchanges, rewards, and efficiency. Now that's a big idea. It has to do with what we, as a culture, focus on as what's important. And if we focus on Wall Street and the stock market, we're missing a lot about what's important about community, what's important about Port Charlotte, or Florida, or the United States, or the earth. True gratitude resists the logic of calculation and what do I get in return? Now, that's a transactional approach, and I confess I occasionally do think that. If you're going to ask for something, what do I get back? Gratitude thrives in mindful practice, intentional consideration, and what's possible if you're slowing down, breathing, and observing life more carefully. It encourages reflection. It encourages noticing. It encourages intentional acknowledgement of support. And we do that just a little bit. This morning we did it with meditation. And it's a time to just be there with yourself. Life is also interdependence. It's valuing our network and our community. Gratitude reveals that life is not solitary. It's a web of giving and receiving. It's inside and outside. Our survival, growth, and joy are entwined with the support of others. Naming gifts and generosity around us becomes a form of care itself. Participating in gratitude nurtures both the self and the larger network of life. As a practical takeaway for daily life, budget time for daily gratitude. In other words, stop and think every day just about what I'm grateful for or what you're grateful for. You can speak them, you can write them, or reflect on them as a daily practice. Gratitude is both a pause and an action, noticing and reinforcing the flow of care in the world. Now you let me up here on this mic, so I have one last radical departure from nice words about gratitude that are fairly easy to understand. You can see me afterwards for more about this because I'm just going to mention it. I saw it in an ad by the company that pumps our septic tank. It says, "From feast to flush. Septic tips to avoid septic stress for a stress-free holiday." Or compost. A final behavioral thought: anticipation of giving is motivated by gratitude. Amen and a women.
Thank you, Bill. I just heard somebody say, "I like him." And yes, I had to pass that on. That was very nice to say. And I could have bet money that the compost would have been mentioned, but yeah. Now, it's our tradition with our congregation exists because of the generous support of members and friends. It is our privilege and responsibility to ensure the health and future of this fellowship. There are several ways you can give. You can mail checks to the office, drop them in our mailbox, or call the office to make arrangements. We are equipped to accept donations through the Venmo app. Payments through Venmo should be made to UUFCC offering. If you would like your offering to apply for anything specific other than the operating fund, like our second helping, for example, please indicate that on the memo line. Your generosity is always appreciated. Now, today we are having for the last time the second helping for this month. It's a special collection. This is for 3 families with special needs. One of the families lost everything in a fire, and the other 2 families are in our community that could use some special help during these current emergency circumstances. And the offering music will be number 402, From You I Receive.
Okay, so number 402, this is going to be a participatory song. It's very easy. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and through this we live. So we're going to do some little movements. The choir is going to go around and greet you with this little thing. So we're going to start out, from you I receive. Do that with me. From you I receive, to you I give. Let's do that all again. From you I receive, to you I give. Then we're going to do this as a sign for we. Together we share. Together we share. And by this we give. Okay, let's try the whole thing. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live. Okay.
So the second helping is going around now, and we receive your gifts with gratitude. And as that's being passed, I'll just move on to the life of the community. It's time to highlight the UUFCC special events and activities. Remember to religiously read your weekly copy of the updates, which includes a calendar and links for our connecting with Zoom. And John has something he'd like to share.
John, my pronouns are old and cranky. Those are actually adjectives, I get that, but we'll go with that. I am a volunteer and on the board of CHAPS, which some of you may not know if you're newer here. It's the Charlotte HIV/AIDS People Support Food and Hygiene Pantry. Every year, it's a tradition here that we pass out these bags to anyone who's interested to fill with hygiene products. There's a list here of anything we might need, and this year the need is a little bit more because of the budget cutbacks. We're having to spend more money on food. We used to get quite a bit of our food from Harry Chapin Food Bank, but if you've seen on the news, their shelves are pretty much empty. So anything you can do this year to help would be great. We would be very grateful. We're located here in Charlotte County. We serve southern Sarasota County, all of Charlotte County, and all of DeSoto County. And Dollar Tree brands are perfectly fine. We don't expect high-end shampoo or anything. I don't expect shampoo at all. But if you are so willing to give, fill these or put a bottle of shampoo in it, whatever you want. If you run out of bags, a plastic bag from Walmart is fine. There'll be probably a Christmas tree over here. Just place the bags under the tree and they will be forever grateful. One more item. We are in need of a board member or two for CHAPS. If anyone's interested, please see me after the service. I'll stick around for about 30 seconds.
Okay. And Laura, you had something to share?
It's the beginning of the holiday season, and the Board of Trustees would like to invite you to play bingo with us. We'll distribute bingo cards after the service, and these are very important official markers for bingo cards. Your bingo card will only be accepted if it is marked with this official marker. And the markers will be in the back of the sanctuary. After the service, see Joseph or me for a bingo card if you'd like to play. Oh, and we're giving out prizes.
Oh. And I would like to add on next Sunday, I know it is Potluck Sunday, but PFLAG is going to have a holiday party that day at 1:30, and it is a potluck. It is important this time of year. Many people in general or in the LGBT community have a difficult time with holidays. It just exacerbates feelings sometimes of being alone. So one reason for our socials is don't want anyone to feel alone. So another reason I like to bring people to our wonderful fellowship and to know it is a safe place here, and driving for them to visit us and, take part and feel the welcome warmth and the community. So that's another goal of our safe socials. And Joseph, did you have something?
Yes, the Vegan Fun Club, emphasis on fun, is inviting you, everyone, the vegan curious and the vegans, to a dinner at SWAD, S-W-A-A-D. It is an Indian restaurant on 41 at 5:30 on December 6th, which is a Saturday. So please join us. We have a private room reserved. We're going to have great food and fun activities. The other thing is the secular community is going to meet here at 3. We have a special speaker. Ron Lindsay is going to talk about how the current administration is changing the history of the country to reflect more Christian nationalist ideas. And he's going to be highlighting that and talking about what the implication of that rewriting of history might be for us. So that's going to be at 3 o'clock today in this space. And Ron, Aubrey, you have your hand up? No. Okay. Yes, Betty. Betty, would you raise your hand? Oh, she's with the kids. Okay, everyone knows Betty, I hope. So let her know so that we can have sufficient amount of space at the restaurant. So thank you very much.
Okay. Now, our closing words, I found, a secular humanist prayer from the Unitarian Universalist Church of Annapolis. We give thanks for this day. Thanks for life, love, health. We are grateful and fortunate for what we have. Let us try our best to do and be our best every day, and not be so hard on ourselves. We remember and send healing thoughts to those who are sick and in pain, and we hope for their speedy recovery. May we be reminded of our highest aspirations in our quest to be loved, to be a loved community. Blessings on this community, may it be so. Now we are going to extinguish the flame. If Betty, please, would come up. Please follow me in the order of service. We extinguish the chalice, but not the light of hope and the fire of commitment or the warmth of community. May these ideals shine in our lives and warm our hearts until we are together again. Go now in peace. Now our closing hymn is number 395 in the great hymnal, Sing and Rejoice.
Sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice. Let all things living now sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice. Let all things living now sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice. Let all things living now sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice. Let all things living now sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice. Let all things living sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice. Let all things living now sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice. Let all things living now sing and rejoice.
Remember to turn on your phones and please join us in the fellowship hall for drinks and snacks.
The church that we loved and that did all those things that really and grew and did all that was Annapolis.
Oh, okay.
So when he said the church in Annapolis was like,